Welcome to the Publishing Performance Show, the podcast that helps self-published authors turn their passion into a profit. Now, I'm your host, Teddy Smith, and if you're serious about building a sustainable business, then you're in the right place. Every week, I sit down with successful authors, industry experts, and publishing professionals who share their exact strategies they use right now to how they've grown their business, grow their readership, increase their book sales, and essentially to make a bit more money. Now, whether you're just starting out or you're looking to scale your existing publishing business, you'll walk away from every episode with actionable insights you can implement immediately. Now, if you're new here, it would really help me out if you could subscribe either on Apple or Spotify or YouTube or wherever you are. Just simply hit the subscribe button. It really helps the show to get more reach, which means we can get better guests for you and we can help you out in more ways. All right, let's dive into this episode. Hi everyone and welcome to the Publishing Performance Show. Today I'm really happy to be joined by Robert Moutal, who is the founder of the Cover Design app. And Robert's someone I've known for a very long time, so it's been great to have him to come on the show. So thanks for joining, Robert.
Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. So Cover Design app, it's an AI tool that helps people to design their covers. So why don't you just give us a quick overview of exactly what it does, how it works, and who's it for?
Yeah, well, it's for any type of publisher, independent publisher who has a fiction, nonfiction, workbooks, kids books, whatever. And basically what it does is it doesn't just design a cover. It does a whole semiotic and psychological analysis. So it gives you the actual fundamentals of a good design that actually will perform really well. So I have a master's in semiotics and communication. And when I started doing my covers, I am very passionate about design. So I really wanted the design to actually convey the things you want. Because sometimes you see covers, especially in fiction, for example, that have the wrong genre. They may be doing, for example, stylistic fonts. It's a thriller, or they may be using the wrong color when it's a horror genre, or even business books. You may see things that don't really make sense. So Cover Design app does an analysis of your current cover, gives you a really good score. It does a market intelligence analysis of all the covers in your selected topic, and it builds everything from that analysis. Then creates multiple different versions of each cover, which you can then edit and iterate until you get them right.
So is the reason you created this app in the first place because you saw a lot of bad covers out there, or was there another reason?
Absolutely. I'm also a publishing coach, so I get to talk to students all the time, and nothing breaks my heart more than when I see a cover that was designed on Canva by someone who thought they had all the tools. And then usually where they really mess up is in the typography, because they may get a beautiful image, stock image, but they may get a beautiful image, and then they put the font anywhere where that's kind of visible, but it's not the right size, the right proportion, the right alignment. And when they publish it, it looks very amateur. You can tell if a cover was designed by a professional or not just based on the typography. So, and I publish more than 60, 70 books as well. So I needed to be able to output really good covers every time without having to go back and forth with the designer, 20 times until they get it right. Because when you get a fiber designer, you have to, you explain the concept, they give you an option, you kind of stuck with it, and then you have to keep going back and forth. And every back and forth takes maybe a day or two. So I wanted to do something in under a couple hours, you can get your full package.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those Fiverr covers that you get, I think you can almost instantly tell which ones have been made on Fiverr by looking on Amazon. Are there any big mistakes that you often see self-publishers make?
Well, using a bad stock footage, absolutely. Not getting the imaging right. Trying to do too many images, trying to cram a lot of concepts in the same cover, not understanding color theory, not understanding typography theory, not understanding metaphors, symbols, metonyms, synecdoches, different things that are really, really scientific and that express things. Like when you see a flower, you immediately know it has to do with love. But if it's a wilted flower, you immediately know it's abandonment or hurt or pain. So you have to know all those things, and not everybody knows those things. They can feel them, but they don't know how to express them.
Do you think, I've looked at data for my own book campaigns and seen this myself, but how much do you think a book cover impacts the sales?
I think it impacts it enormously, especially when you're looking at your Amazon ads, for example. I say that two things are impacted by the cover. So when you're looking at your click-through rate, let's say you have 1,000 impressions on your Amazon ads, and then you have maybe one click. That click might have come either because they got the right keyword when they were doing their search, or they stopped at a cover and they clicked on the cover and they went into your store. So the cover is the first stopper whenever they're searching for something. If they're not looking at it, they say that it takes about 3 seconds for you to evaluate a cover, and then you scroll on to the next one. So you only have 3 seconds to make a really good impression and take that impression into a click. And then inside the sales page, that's where you make the actual sale. And that's other factors. So it is a very important.
Yeah,
when
definitely.
I say we don't judge a book by its cover, we definitely judge it by its cover.
Yeah, that's I always put that in front of presentations I do about advertising, about people not judging a book by its cover. When you're designing a book cover from scratch, like, are there any key elements that you're focusing on as an AI about which are the elements that go into making a good cover?
Well, I want it to look creative. I don't want it to look too crazy and something not realistic. I want it to look unique, and I don't want it to have a lot of different elements that you can tell are kind of AI-ish. AI has become really, really good, especially now with making humans, for example. It stopped making six-fingered hands. So that's a big improvement. But sometimes it doesn't understand certain concepts, and you need to kind of nudge it in the right direction. Unless, if you don't know what you're doing, it's very easy to tell if a cover is AI. Just by the artifacts it creates, just by the text it may create, certain design elements that don't fit, that a regular designer wouldn't naturally put there, little ornaments, little bells and whistles that are just put there for the sake of filling the space. So you have to be aware of that. Some covers are beautifully designed with minimal elements. I mean, I saw the other day a cover by David Pogue. It's an Apple book, and it's literally just a little selector wheel from the original iPod. And it just says Apple, the thing, and the name. White, beautiful, simplistic. So it doesn't have to be crammed with Baroque type,
Are there any other elements that you see on covers that are a big giveaway that the cover's been made by AI?
Mostly that. Mostly when you see images that are way too surreal looking, that you can tell no designer would have come up with that. On the other hand, you don't want it to look like stock footage. You can tell a stock picture right away. And nowadays, many stock pictures are actually created with AI. So the line is getting really, really blurred, and it's harder and harder to identify. You can tell if it's a good design or a bad design. You can maybe no longer tell if it's AI or human.
When you were coming to make your app in the first place, were there any key things that you wanted the AI to avoid making when it was making your book covers?
I wanted to go based on semiotics and psychology. I really wanted that to be a central part of it. And I wanted it to justify what it was doing. Like, why is it putting that element there, and what does it evoke? So there's 2 things in semiotics. You have the connotation and the denotation. So what a book denotes is, basically the description of the cover. This is a car, going the wrong way. And what it connotes, it's this person is about to get into an accident. So there's a psychological level. And I wanted that to be very clear. And I wanted that to be very expressed for the user, that they understand why they're making the design choices. Because they can make any design choice they want, but I want them to know why they're making it. Not just, let's make it blue. Why blue? Why blue if it's a cookbook? Cookbooks should not be blue. They should be earth tones. They should be oranges. They should be yellows. Those are the colors that make you hungry. Blue is reserved for business, for example. Black is reserved for business as well, for horror. Red is reserved for either danger or romance. Pink for, more feminine. Light blue for little babies. I mean, there's many, many things that you understand from color theory that are culturally accepted worldwide.
If you put all of those theories into practice about the color theory, how do you make sure that your book cover then stands out? Because if every book is sort of following the same theories, makes it more difficult to stand out, or would you just not use color?
Well, that's the great thing about the market intel. So when you do the market intel, you type in your keyword. Let's say you're doing bonsai, how to make a bonsai, and it goes into Amazon, and then we create a little Chrome extension when you click analyze, and it looks at all the covers and it tells you what it saw. So maybe 70% of the books are green. Maybe 55% of the books use one single bonsai, and another ones you use only text. So it kind of tells you which books are performing better. And you don't want to be so different that you want to be different enough that you stand out because it's a really good cover, but within the genre. So if all the books are green, you don't want your book to be orange because it's going to stand out for the wrong reasons. People going like, that book doesn't belong here. Why am I reading that book when all the other books are kind of playing in the same sandbox? And all of a sudden you bring, a totally different concept to the mix. And then it feels kind of yucky. That's kind of like what I express it. So you want to make it look genre specific, but not so crazy that it stands out for the wrong reason.
Yeah, definitely. I often see people just change the color of something and hope it's going to just make a big difference. But I think you can just make it, as you say, stand out for the wrong reasons and look a bit like a black sheep.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the biggest change you can really make right away, make the font bigger. Make the font as big as possible. Actually, in Cover Design app, I have a little feature where once you've produced a cover, you can click on View Thumbnail and it'll give you 3 different sizes because Amazon shows the thumbnail in 3 different sizes. On the results page, on the people also bought, they have a smaller version. So you have to, and if you can't read the thumbnail, then your book is invisible. Because that is the only time your customers are seeing your cover are when they're scrolling really fast on 35 results. So if you can't read it right away, then the thumbnail test was failed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So when you go to use Cover Design app, let's go through the step by step. So is the first step that the app does, it does the market research first, or is there a different step first?
So I like to do the market research first because it tells you all the things that make the successful book successful and what to kind of do. It gives you a recommendation. It actually uses 2 different AIs to do the analysis and then the recommendations. And then from there, create a design brief and you tell it many, many important things. First of all, of course, the title, the description, the genre. You can feed it certain covers that you like. And so it kind of understands what you're looking for. And then you want to see what the user wants to do. Are they looking, for example, to learn something? Are they looking to fix something that's painful? Like anxiety books, for example, or diet books? Are they trying to fix something? Are they just curious about something new they didn't know about? Are they trying to escape, maybe like a fiction book? So once you understand where they are, once you give them also the target demographics, it's women 35 to 45 going through menopause or whatever. Then you understand the target, and then you tell it what kind of feelings you want to create. Is it joy? Is it excitement? Is it anger? Is it fulfillment? Is it, whatever? And then you tell it what kind of author you are. So let's say I'm a sage, or I'm an explorer, or I'm an adventurer. So depending on the author personality or persona, then it creates a brief. And then from that brief, it says, okay, I envision a book to be this. It tells you, it gives you a color palette. And then you go, okay, create some examples of your vision. Then create your examples, and then you can do it either the main version, you can do a minimalist version, you can do a maximalist version or detailed version. And if you like it, then you start iterating on that. If you don't, you go next direction, and it completely changes. Maybe you want it more colorful. Maybe you want it more detailed. Maybe you want completely different concept. And if you give it that, you create new variations as well. You have enough credits when you subscribe. You have 200 credits to play around with. You have tons of room to make mistakes. Then once you like it, then you start correcting maybe some typos, because AI still makes a lot of typographical errors, especially the best one for design, which is ideogram, makes a lot of mistakes when it comes to words. But then you go into the edit and you go, okay, fix this for this, fix that for that, make this bigger, make this smaller, change the color. And then once you have it, then you go into creating your print version for paperback and hardcover, your audiobook version, and then your A+ content as well. And even your author picture. You can create a pen name author picture. Even from your phone, you can take a picture of yourself and makes it a beautiful portrait for the back cover. Wow.
So when you're going to create the cover, how much information do you usually want to give Cover Design app in order for it to give you the best cover? Is there a lot? Can you give it a lot of information, or does it take your book cover and run with it?
No, you give it enough information. You don't try to overwhelm it too much, because then it's going to give you the information, and that's where you can start having that conversation. While you're creating the prompts, it actually shows you what prompt is going to send to the AI creator. And then there's a little AI edit where you say, no, I want it to be outdoors, or I want it to be a man with 2 kids instead of 3. And then it starts adapting the prompt before you actually send it. So you're actually having that conversation with the AI as well. And then you can take that cover and analyze it back and do the analysis and see if it actually fills your psychological and semiotic requirements.
Just a quick shout out to all the romance authors out there. Now, if you're tired of shouting into the void every time you launch a brand new romance book, then let myromancereaders.com do the shouting for you. They have a list of over 18,000 romance readers who love getting books when they're on discounts or on the free promotion. And it goes into their inbox every single day. It's got an amazing open rate, and every promotion gets on average over 600 clicks. That's a lot of new readers for your new series of romance books. So head to myromancereaders.com where you can sign up today. So you can kind of have a bit of a conversation or a bit of a back and forward with the app, with Cover Design app, whilst you're designing that cover. You can give it feedback and suggestions and things like that.
Yes. And the biggest feedback is when you see the image. And then you can go, for example, let's say you don't like something and you want to change it. You just verbalize what you want to change. And then you click on enhance prompt. And whatever your idea was, it's going to enhance and make a really good prompt, AI optimized, so it'll try to get the better results. Remember, AI is still very temperamental. So sometimes you may say, make this smaller, and it completely ignores you, gives you the exact same image. So sometimes you have to understand how to coax it into the right direction. And it's getting better and better all the time. But it's pretty good already. I mean, when you see something that's created in 30 seconds with amazing publishing quality, standards, it's already crazy enough to see that.
Yeah, definitely. Are there any for people who haven't done any design work at all before? Do you think are there any tips you have for them to find it less overwhelming? It's not going to be too technologically challenging for them.
It's not going to be challenging at all. I mean, I have a ton of inexperienced publishers, a lot of older people in their 60s, 70s creating beautiful covers. There's a little video where I go and I create the whole visual package in about 20 minutes, from author picture to design to print to A+ content to it even does the Amazon description and the blurb. So even if you don't have any idea what to put in the back, you just feed it your PDF and it creates the blurb ready-made for the back. It creates an author bio and it creates the Amazon descriptions with the proper formatting. You just copy and paste it into the Amazon KDP description module window. And it creates, the headings and the bullet points and makes it look very, very, very professional without any experience. Rarely have anyone ask me or send me an email like, how do I do this? Very, very seldom. And if they do have a question, I go in, I take a look at their cover, and sometimes I'll make some changes for them and just have them review it directly.
Yeah.
So
nice.
You have a really close contact with the users if they need it.
Yeah, that's really cool. Have you seen any people who have been using actual designers to make covers come over to you and talk about the differences?
Oh, a ton. The other day I had someone who had her cover for some, it was like a greenhouse book. And she was not happy with it at all. And we recreated the whole cover completely. And from there, she actually did a couple of different books in the same series. So that's the other beautiful thing. You can take a designer cover. As long as you have a JPEG file of the cover, you can feed it into Cover Design app and you can edit it. You can change, you can remove the text, you can change the text, you can add a badge, you can remove stuff, you can change the elements in there while keeping the rest intact. Let's say you like the typography, but you don't like the central image. You can say, okay, remove that image, change it for this one. If you want to translate your book, for example, you can just go and say, translate this cover into French. It'll do it. If you know what you wanted to say in French already, you can say, okay, replace, the art of war for, l'art de la guerre. And it changes it with the same typography, makes it fit beautifully. And it's uncanny. I tried to translate covers before using Photoshop, and it's a nightmare because now you have to make fit everything. Especially I speak Spanish. Spanish is 30% longer than English. So any cover I make, you have to make everything fit and squeeze it here perfectly the first time. So it's really useful, especially when you're working with existing covers.
Yeah, definitely. When it comes to doing the A+ content as well, I always find it's quite good to try and match the cover design to the A+ content so that there's that continuity of the brand. How do you make the A+ content using the app? Well, what's that process look like?
Oh, it's super easy. So if you have an existing cover already housed in Cover Design app, you just select the cover from the existing ones. If not, you can upload a cover. First thing it does is extract the color palette. From the color palette, it goes to the next stage where you upload your book. You upload either your description or your full PDF. And then it does an analysis of the book. And in the next section, you can select how many modules you want to create. So you can create 3 hero modules. They're all the 970 by 600, the big ones. I don't like the little tiny ones that are just a waste of space. I like the big modules. So it creates 3 hero images, 1 benefits card, and 1 interior feature. So, well, the first hero image will show you book, 3D, beautifully put together with something relevant. And the copy was actually designed or written based on your book. Then the next 2 hero images, kind of similar. Then you have your benefits card, which will show 4 different cards of the benefits, why they should read the book. Everything color coordinated. And then if you have, let's say you're doing a coloring book and you want to show some interior pages, you just upload up to 5 pages and it shows them beautifully spread out. You can have them flying. You can do whatever you want there. And then download them all, upload them as your A+ content. You want to do your A+ content in Spanish or in French, translate and do the same thing. And you have the exact same A+ content in any language that you want. And you can also change things. If you didn't like the original image that happened, just edit, change the man for a woman, change the man for a boy, or whatever you want.
What sort of elements do you usually try and include inside your A+ contents? Does it depend on the genre?
What was the question?
What sort of elements do you usually try and include in the A+ contents? Do you change that based on the genre?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I wrote a novel and it's a science fiction novel. So it created everything very technological and lots of tension. Whereas I have another one that's about, anxiety, and you have a person sitting down looking kind of sad. So it actually takes the whole concept, same design principles, and it'll use real stock footage, even though it's not stock footage, generated footage of whatever you wanted to do. And again, you can direct it to give you whatever you want.
Yeah. That's amazing. The A+ content I've noticed has a big impact on the conversion rates. Especially for nonfiction books, I find it improves it a lot.
Yes. A+ content is basically Amazon gave you a huge window for you to advertise your book within your own page without paying extra. So you have 5 modules where you can tell what your book is about for people who don't want to read the description. The description is mostly for people to kind of peruse quickly, for Amazon to know what the book is about and list it properly. But the A+ content is where they see, okay, if this person put this as an image, that's got to be very important in the book. And it explains, it pictures the book for you. And people who don't have A+ content, they're just wasting a big opportunity on Amazon.
Yeah. Are there any people who you think, the cover design app maybe isn't the right choice for them? They should get a full designer.
That's a good question. I don't think so. I mean, no, if you're a designer, some designers don't like AI or don't like AI because it's very threatening, of course. But even if you're a designer and you know exactly what you want to do and you want to use A+ content as kind of like the starting point or the ending point, you can absolutely use it. I don't see any use case where you wouldn't want to do something like this. Because you can create a text only, it doesn't have to be an image. I have tons of books that are typography based, and where you say, I want the typography to be the central element and the only element in the book. Create a beautiful book without any images, just beautiful type, properly aligned, properly placed, and it works. So I don't see anyone saying, no, I don't want an AI cover. I once actually went on a Facebook group and I offered people to give me their covers and I'll fix them for them. And they said, well, yeah, I want you to fix it, but I don't want any AI covers. I'm like, okay, sure. And I gave it to her and she's like, oh, that's amazing. Well, yeah, because you've got a bad AI cover. You have to get a good AI cover. Yeah, it's not a curse word.
Yeah, definitely. One thing you mentioned at the beginning, which we didn't actually cover, was if you wanted to use your own image, like how does that work? Because I know a lot of photographers, they use proper photos and they want to include that. So how does that work?
So that's still kind of an experimental aspect of it. There is a place in the beginning where you're doing your brief where you can feed it your own image and it'll use it. But that may be one case where if you already have a very, very specific image that you want to use, then you may want to integrate it with a designer. Yeah. But it does work. Like I'm working right now on a biography, and I have the picture of the guy from the 1940s, and I'm going to be using that, and I'll let you know how good it turns out. But I think it's going to do a really good job.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, thanks so much for coming on. So what, if people want to get started, where's the best place for them to go? I think I've got some links in the chat, in the show notes for this, but where should people go to?
Absolutely. So if they go coverdesignApp.com, it's just cover design app. I made the name super simple.com/Teddy. I want to give your listeners a 10% discount. So if you type in cover design app/Teddy, they get a 10% discount forever. So anything they do, they can cancel anytime. They, the subscription is very, very affordable. They can start it. If they don't use the credits, they can just pause it and next month if they want to start again. So it's very, very flexible for high volume publishers. It's really, really useful. For low volume publishers, it's very, very affordable as well. On Fiverr, you pay maybe $60, $70, $100 for a kind of crappy cover. Here, you're paying around $40 for your whole package. So it's you have as many designs as you want to get.
How many book covers does the package usually get you per month on average?
200 images may get you, depending on how much you iterate, but 200 credits gets you, I don't even know, maybe 30 different covers plus A+ content plus author picture, plus different. Yeah, I don't think anybody has run out of credits. And if you do run out of credits, you can top it up for the next. Every month they renew. So very, very seldom would someone use so many credits that they'll run out of. I made it so that you really can feel, okay, let's experiment until I have what I really want without feeling like, oh my God, I'm running out of credits.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Rob. It's been great chatting. Really good I'm looking forward to starting to use your app. It's going to be really good. So that's coverdesignApp.com/Teddy.
coverdesignApp.com/Teddy. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much, Teddy. It's always great talking to you.
Yeah, thanks. We'll speak again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Publishing Performance Show. I really hope you found today's episode inspiring. I absolutely love chatting to authors, writers, and people in the publishing world. Now, just before we wrap up, I want to tell you about our Publishing Performance Starter Packs. These are curated episodes and collections organised by topic that makes it super easy to find the exact content you're looking for. So whether you're wanting to deep dive into marketing strategies, explore productivity techniques, or focus on any specific area of publishing, we've organised our episodes into targeted playlists just for you. And you can find these all at teddyagsmith.com. And also, whilst you're here, let me tell you about Publishing Performance. It's the #1 platform for authors who want to increase Amazon book sales but aren't really sure where to start. Now, this show is all about helping you to sell more books, and if you're looking to boost your publishing game and to maximise your book's potential on Amazon, then Publishing Performance is designed to help authors just like you to grow your readership and to reach a much wider audience. Now, I know that Amazon ads can be slightly complicated, which is why Publishing Performance is like having a personalised ad account manager to create your ad campaigns for you, to choose your best keywords and to make adjustments in real time and to optimise them over time to save you money and to make more sales. Now, if you're investing in ads, you really want to make sure your investment is being used effectively, and Publishing Performance does just that. It aims to make your budget go further, improve your organic rank, and target keywords more effectively. You can get started with Amazon ads for free for 30 days at publishingperformance.com, and there's a link in the show notes to get that free 30 days trial. Thank you so much for tuning into the Publishing Performance Show. I really hope you found today's episode inspiring. I absolutely love chatting to authors, writers, and people in the publishing world. Now, just before we wrap up, I want to tell you about our Publishing Performance Starter Packs. These are curated episodes and collections organised by topic that makes it super easy to find the exact content you're looking for. So whether you're wanting to deep dive into marketing strategies, explore productivity techniques, or focus on any specific area of publishing, we've organised our episodes into targeted playlists just for you. And you can find these all at teddyagsmith.com. And also, whilst you're here, let me tell you about Publishing Performance. It's the #1 platform for authors who want to increase Amazon book sales but aren't really sure where to start. Now, this show is all about helping you to sell more books, and if you're looking to boost your publishing game and to maximise your book's potential on Amazon, then Publishing Performance is designed to help authors just like you to grow your readership and to reach a much wider audience. Now, I know that Amazon ads can be slightly complicated, which is why Publishing Performance is like having a personalised ad account manager to create your ad campaigns for you, to choose your best keywords and to make adjustments in real time and to optimise them over time to save you money and to make more sales. Now, if you're investing in ads, You really want to make sure your investment is being used effectively, and Publishing Performance does just that. It aims to make your budget go further, improve your organic rank, and target keywords more effectively. You can get started with Amazon ads for free for 30 days at publishingperformance.com, and there's a link in the show notes to get that free 30 days trial.